Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Developing TodoDock. In this episode, we're going to add a new feature to our app, which is to update the period of existing tasks. So let's say I have a task called Replace Toothbrush here, and it has currently a period of 90 days. So what if I decide to replace my toothbrush in the future every 70 days? We can't do it right now. But what we can do is actually, if I click on this task, a model opens up and it actually allows me to update the name of the task or update the color. It also allows me to reset the timer, archive or delete the task, and so on. So this is a perfect place to add the new feature. What I'm thinking is I'm going to add a widget here, and I can easily edit the period. And also in the future, not in this video, but in the future, I'm going to also move the ability to update the remaining days from here. I don't want to do this because it blocks prevents this model from popping up if you directly click on the remaining days. So I'm also going to add another widget right next to the period widget to update the remaining days. But today we're going to focus on adding the capability to update our periods. So let's go to this React component that we already have. It's called Task Editor. So as you can see here, we have some sub-components to edit each individual attribute of our task. So for example, we have a task name editor, task color editor, and the actions, which are these ones. So we're gonna just add another one right below the task color editor, and let's go ahead and call this task period editor. Also, this is going to accept the period instead of name. Set period. Also, the submit will be update period. So let's see where do we get period, set period, and update period values. So they are actually the states of this task editor component. So what I'm going to do is just add another state, which is called period. All right, and also we need a new handler called update period. So actually, let's copy this and paste it right below color, just to keep the ordering consistent. And let's rename this as update period. So this is gonna look very much like the existing update name. We are, as you can see, performing some checks like do not submit if the name hasn't changed. So again, if the period hasn't changed, we don't have to make any API calls to our backend. I know that this is introducing some code duplication. I'm also going to fix that, but not in this video. I'm just going to add the capability right now. So we're checking the name length for the name, but when it comes to the period, we have to check the valid range. So currently, this is going to change in the future, but currently the period can't be less than 2 days and more than 360 days. So check period range. So instead of checking the length, what I'm going to do is period smaller than validation. I have a validation module, by the way. Let me just show it to you. It's inside the constants module actually. So as you can see, we have defined minimum and maximum days for the period attribute. So we can use those rather than just hard coding. validation task period min days. So this is the smallest number, and this will be the maximum number, period, validation task period max days. All right, so we also have to update the messages. So let me use back quotes instead. Oops. And because I'm going to do some formatting inside these, so task period cannot be less than this number. Also, actually, let me just copy. Cannot be more than max days. All right. Also, let's add the comma. Oh, not the comma, actually. I messed up something. I'm just going to peek the original thing. Where was it? The comma is at the bottom. I got a bit confused right there. But yeah, this looks fine now. And like if this happens, if we have actually updated the period, but it's an invalid value, we have to reset it. So we are doing it for the name right here. We have to do it now for the period. And also the next check is about where the event has originated from. So let me demonstrate what it means. It's not compiling. So I'm going to show you in a minute. What this does is actually it makes sure if we click the cancel button of the model, it shouldn't update. Let me fix this because it's not compiling right now. And once this is done, I'm going to show it to you. Reset to initial value and do not submit if this was triggered from the close button click. So again, let me just copy this and paste. And if these are not true, so if this is an actually legitimate update request, we can now safely submit the new period. Let's change the message. All right, the reason it's for I noticed that. Isn't it right? It should be. The comma is. Yeah, this is the problem with copying and pasting. It usually saves you some time, but sometimes the opposite. So the issue is we didn't import the task period editor. Actually, we don't even have it yet. So let me just copy the task name and update for the new component, task period editor. We have to update each file, but it shouldn't take a whole lot long. Also, we have to update the names. And finally, update the SCS CSS file. And also, we will have to change the class names. Here. So, yeah, we should update the properties as well. And also change the class names. Alright, so this looks fine, I guess. Let me open the browser and check if this builds. It should be compiling right now. We're getting some errors. Task period editor is not defined. Could it be that we forgot to import it from the task editor? Yeah. What about now? Okay, it looks like it's compiling. So the issue is we somehow duplicated the task color editor. Let's see, why is this happening? Did we copy the... No, we copied the task name editor. Why is this getting duplicated? I was expecting 2 task name editors. Yeah, it now works for some reason. Anyway, so as you can see, we are now seeing our period, current period. So do stuff task has a 28 days period. So firstly, I will have to update the layout. I want this to be here, not right next to the color picker. So let's go to our task editor because it's a higher level layout issue. So as you can see, the main div is task editor, and underneath it, we have the task name editor and a task editor body. Now, we need a new section for the sidebar so that we can separate these main content from the sidebar content. I mean body from the sidebar content. So I will create a new main area div so that I can put the sidebar and the body inside it. And the actions will go now to the new sidebar. Let's rename this. Oops. I did something wrong, it seems. Did I? Okay, I think it's correct now. Let's check. While this is loading, we have to also update the styles because now this will be inside task editor main area. And also we will need to add task editor sidebar. Alright, so this wasn't my intention. Let me just go ahead and check again. Oh, I see now. The issue is we didn't insert the actions inside the sidebar div. Let's see how it looks like now. Alright, so Now what I'm going to do is this is our, let me actually show you. This is the body, so I'm going to just update the styling, the flex direction from row to column. That's it. Yeah, flex direction column, so that we can place it down. Okay. The only issue here is it shouldn't be pushed down like that. They should be side by side. So the issue is the main area should also be a flex box. Okay. Okay, now the only widths are incorrect. So I'm going to try to push it all the way to the right by using something called margin left auto. This should take care of this. Now it's solved, but this doesn't cover the whole available area. So I have to I have to update the body to have 100% width. I guess. Yep. And also let me quickly check how it looks like for the mobile view. So, okay, it looks like it hasn't changed. So this looks good so far. Now we can focus on styling this individual widget. So this is way too small right now. I want to make it bigger. So in order to do that, I have to go to the style sheet of this period editor. And by the way, I want to get rid of this border, and I want to make this a constant width widget. So instead of this thing, oops, wait a second. Yeah, I want to make it a constant with like 5 rems. We can change it later and get rid of the border. Also, let's double the font size. Okay. Yeah, this might be bigger, maybe, but for now it looks fine. And I'm also going to add a label on top of this so that it's clear that this indicates the period. So above the input, I want to add a label. And it's going to say period. So probably I will need to add a flex property to the form as well, because I want them to, yeah, they're now side by side. I want to move the period label on top of the actual number. So this should be a flex. Let's go to our task period editor and create a form entry. And then make this display flex. Yeah, okay, we will have to make the direction column too. Alright, so this looks fine. The only issue is, yeah, the label takes the whole width. So actually the constant width should be assigned to the form, not just the input. And let's check. Yeah, now it looks, now it makes sense. And also I want to make this centered. So I'm gonna add justify content center and align items center. Whoops, this wasn't what I was expecting. Okay, so I moved the width from input to the form, but this should have now 100% width to match the form. Also, we should give this text align center property so that it aligns with the label. All right, this looks nice. The final thing I'm going to do is make this bold. So create a label entry and font, weight, bold. Right, so we designed, like, this is not the final design, by the way. I'm gonna have to tweak this because I want to make this give this a boxed shadow, because this is very plain right now. But we have handled the basic styling and also the client behavior. So whenever I, for instance, change this, we should see a notification, task period updated. And let's try an invalid number. So the minimum was 2, if you remember. So we also see we are not now seeing the wrong warning. So good thing I tried this. Let me just quickly go ahead and fix that. Yeah, copying and pasting is wrong, so I shouldn't have done it in the first place. Yeah, because this condition, I should have updated the condition, but I didn't. What I had to do was this. If the min days condition is not met, then we should render this. Okay, let me try again. Wait for this to compile first. Okay, so whenever I make this 0, I should see the correct, I'm seeing the correct warning. And if I make this, for example, 1000, I'm seeing the correct one again. So as you can see, the client side is working, but like, let me make this 10 a valid number. It shows me a success message, but actually it didn't change the period to 10 because we didn't implement the server side yet. So what we have to do is, as you can see, we are making an update request, and it actually triggers our task controller on the back end. So here we have an update controller, and if you can, you can see that it's checking the request. If it has a name update, it updates the name. If it has a color update, it updates the color, and so on. So we have to add a new check here. If the request has period, like the request has a period update, now we can update the period. Get period. Like this is the only change we have to do inside the controller, but we also have to update the request itself. So as you can see, I'm using a custom request, which is called update task request, and like the get color has color, these are defined here. So this is similar to days left because they are both numbers. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it below color, and change the name as period. And get period. Oops. Also, we will have to define this period constant above. Nice. And one final thing to do. In this custom request, we have validation rules for each key. So if you want to update the name, it should be a valid task name. which we define in a custom rule class. We have a custom rule for almost each our keys, and we have to create a new one for our period as well. So we will have to create the new rule. It will be called new period. So let's go to the days left, because again it looks similar to days left. I'm gonna copy this and rename it as period, and also change the class name. So actually, let's look at the rules, like the rule details here. So we are checking if it's lower than 0 or higher than max period days. So the only thing we have to change here is this check, because the days left could be less than 2, because even if you have a task with period 5 days, the remaining days can be 1. So it's allowed for the remaining days to be 1, 0 or 2, but the period shouldn't be 2 or less than 2. Again, this is subject to change in the future, but that's what it currently behaves. So I'm gonna call this min period days. And do we have to change anything else? Yeah, we have to change the message. Cannot be less more than. Yeah, this has to be dynamically set as well. Task min period days. All right, looks like we handled everything, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't import the custom rule. Now, I think we can give this a try. So this has a 90 days period. Let's try to update it as 70. We get the success message, and we indeed see the new period. But what happens when I refresh the page? Yeah, it looks like we were able to successfully update the period on the backend as well. So let me try an invalid number and assert that in addition to the warning message on the client side, it also doesn't get updated on the backend. Yeah, it's still 70. It doesn't accept an invalid period. So I think this is it for this video. As I said, I have to tweak the appearance of this widget a bit more, but I don't want to waste any more time in this video. I can do it later. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.